Good morning. This is PJ. I hope your Labor Day weekend was fine. Today is Tuesday, September 5th, 2023. We're here for the daily lectionary readings. Our psalm reading is Psalm 17. Our Old Testament reading is going to be the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 11, verse 27 through chapter 12, verse 15. And then our New Testament reading is going to be Revelations, chapter 3, 7 through 13. We are going to be listening into it via the message. And with it being Tuesday, we are reflecting back on what happened at church on Sunday. Listen in, Psalm 17. Listen while I build my case, God, the most honest prayer you'll ever hear. Show the world I'm innocent. In your heart, you know that I am. Go ahead, examine me from inside out. Surprise me in the middle of the night. You'll find I'm just what I say I am. My words don't run loose. I'm not trying to get my way in the world's way. I'm trying to get your way, your words' way. I'm staying on your trail. I'm putting one foot in front of the other. I'm not giving up. I call to you, God, because I'm sure of an answer. So answer. Bend your ear. Listen sharp. Paint grace graffiti on the fences. Take in your frightened children who are running from the neighborhood bullies. Straight to you. Keep your eye on me. Hide me under your cool wing feathers from the wicked who are out to get me, from mortal enemies closing in. Their hearts are hard as nails. Their mouths blast hot air. They are after me, nipping my heels, determined to bring me down. Lions ready to rip me apart. Young lions poised to pounce. Up, God, beard them, break them by your sword. Free me from their clutches. Barehanded, God, break these mortals, these flat earth people who can't think beyond today. I'd like to see their bellies swollen with famine food, the weeds they've sown, harvested and baked into famine bread, with second helpings for their children and crust for their babies to chew on. And me? I plan on looking you full in the face. When I get up, I'll see your full statue and live heaven on earth. Our Old Testament reading comes from 2 Samuel. When Uriah's wife heard that her husband was dead, she grieved for her husband. When the time of mourning was over, David sent someone to bring her to his house. She became his wife and bore him a son. But God was not at all pleased with what David had done and sent Nathan to David. Nathan said to him, there were two men in the same city, one rich, the other poor. The rich man had huge flocks of sheep, herds of cattle. The poor man had nothing but one little female lamb, which he had bought and raised. It grew up with him and his children as a member of the family. It ate off its plate and drank from his cup and slept on his bed. It was like a daughter to him. One day a traveler dropped in on the rich man. He was too stingy to take an animal from his own herds or flocks to make a meal for his visitor. So he took the poor man's lamb and prepared a meal to set before his guests. David exploded in anger. As surely as God lives, he said to Nathan, the man who did this ought to be lynched. He must repay for the lamb 4 times over for his crime and his stinginess. You're the man, said Nathan, and here's what God, the God of Israel, has to say to you. I made you king over Israel. I freed you from the fist of Saul. I gave you your master's daughter and other wives to have in the home. I gave you both Israel and Judah. And if it hadn't been enough, I'd have gladly thrown in much more. So why have you treated the word of God with brazen contempt, doing this great evil? You murdered Uriah the Hittite, then took his wife as your wife. Worse, you killed him with an Amorite sword. And now, because you treated God with such contempt and took Uriah the Hittite wife as your wife, killing and murder will continually plague your family. This is God speaking, remember. I'll make trouble for you out of your own family. I'll take your wives from right out in front of you. I'll give them to some neighbor, and he'll go to bed with them openly. You did your deed in secret. I'm doing mine while the whole country is watching. Then David confessed to Nathan, I've sinned against God. Nathan pronounced, yes, but that's not the last word. God forgives your sin. You won't die for it, but because of your blasphemous behavior, the son born to you will die. After Nathan went home, God afflicted the child that Uriah's wife bore to David, and he came down sick. David prayed desperately to God for the little boy. He fasted, wouldn't go out, and slept on the floor. The elders in his family came in and tried to get him off the floor, but he wouldn't budge, nor could they get him to eat anything. On the seventh day, the child died. David's servants were afraid to tell him. They said, what do we do now? While the child was living, he wouldn't listen to a word we said. Now with the child dead, if we speak to him, there's no telling what he is going to do. Our New Testament reading comes from Revelations chapter 3. Write this to Philadelphia, the angel of the church, the holy, the true, David's key in his hand, opening doors no one can lock, locking doors no one can open, speaks. I see what you have done. Now see what I've done. I've opened the door before you that no one can slam shut. You don't have much strength. I know that. You used to what you had to keep my word. You didn't deny me when times were rough. And watch as I take those who call themselves true believers, but are nothing of the kind, pretenders, whose true membership is in the club of Satan. Watch as I strip off your pretensions and they'll focus to acknowledge it's you that I've loved. Because you kept my word and passionate patience, I'll keep you safe in the time of testing. That will be here soon and all over the earth. Every man, woman, and child put to the test. I'm on my way. I'll be there soon. Keep a tight grip on what you have so no one distracts you and steals your crown. I'll make every conqueror a pillar in the sanctuary of my God, a permanent position of honor. Then I'll write names on you, the pillars, the name of God, the name of God's city, the new Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven. And my new name? Are your ears awake? Listen to the wind words, the Spirit blowing through the churches. Here ends our readings for the day.